Mr. Sanderson, thank you for participating in this Civitas interview with us.
My pleasure, Karen.
And our first question, why do you think your district chose you to represent them in the General Assembly?
Well, you know, I guess on November 3rd, that was one of the first questions I asked, and it still comes into my mind when I see a group of people that I don't know. But you know, I think like a lot of places in North Carolina, there's a lot of people that feels like the message that needs to come to Raleigh is a different message. And a lot of times in order to send a different message, you have to send a different messenger. And so I think that's the reason. I think that people were really concerned about the direction our state is going in, about some of the things our government is voting on and putting in place here in North Carolina. And so to send a stronger message about, hey, you guys, we're out here, you need to be helping us, they've sent a different message, and that's what I feel like I am.
And our next question, the state is facing a $3.2 billion budget shortfall in the coming fiscal year. How did we get here, and how would you go about balancing the budget? Would you raise taxes, reduce government spending, a combination of the two, or something else?
Well, I think to answer the first part, how we got here, I think it's just been a lot of uncontrolled spending. We have come through 10 years of prosperity in North Carolina. The tax revenue has been good. Property values have been going up. And so all of the places that we've been taking our money in from have been doing very well. And so when you have a lot of money, it's easy to spend it. And but you know, that's not where we are now. We're looking at some rough years coming up in North Carolina in our economy. And it's nothing more than everybody out there on the street is already experiencing. There's not a family that I know that has not been affected by what's going on. And so to be good stewards of tax money, we have to come to Raleigh and make the same decisions that you as a parent, you as a business owner has to make. And so that's what we're doing. And you know, I think that right now, as far as I'm concerned, nothing's off the table. The only thing that I have promised the people that elected me and sent me here was no tax increases. So we've got to find a way to do this without tax increases. And I think there are a lot of different places that we can look. And there may not be big savings to start off with, but there's savings, I think, everywhere. And we just have to bring those together. And when we do, I think we're going to see a difference in our spending. We got to stop digging our hole deeper to start with. That's one thing my dad taught me. When you find yourself in a hole, quit digging. And so, you know, that's where we are. And so nothing's off the table. We need to look at every single dollar we spend.
And how important is a voter ID requirement in ensuring the integrity of elections?
Well, you know, I think that North Carolina has a good record as far as elections are concerned. But I think that anything that we can do as elected representatives to make that process better and to take any doubt whatsoever out of a person's mind that, one, that all votes that are cast are legal votes, and two, that the vote that they cast is counted. And so I really think that one of the ways that we can do that most effectively is to require voter ID. I don't think it's too much to ask. I know there might be a lot of complaints initially, but I think once we get in the process and we make it as simple as we can for people, I think people are going to understand that it is good. You know, that we have a lot of elections that have been decided, especially in this past year, by just a few hundred votes. And so it is not out of the question whatsoever that those votes could be questioned. And I personally know that in our county, it's a small county, but you know, we took a lot of time going through our voter list, and there was a lot of people. There were people that had to be removed, and so that's what we should do. And it shouldn't be something that is so terribly difficult. If we can prove that a voter is not able to vote in that district or in that county anymore, then they should be removed.
And our fourth question, what 3 primary issues do you intend to address in your upcoming term?
Well, you know, I look at them, I know that the greatest thing that are facing anybody that's coming to Raleigh in January is fiscal. It's the money issue, it's the tax issue, it's balancing a budget that has been projected to be so far behind. And we're just going to have to sit down at the table and come together with all of our counterparts, and we're going to have to do that. And I think that is utmost on everybody's mind. Another thing that I want to address is anything that has to do with small business. I'm a small business person, and I have been in that arena for the last 20 years. And I know what decisions in Raleigh, how it affects the small business person down the line. And so we need to take a look at some of the things that we've been doing that have caused people to go out of business, to just throw their hands up and say, this is not worth it. And we need to help them. And when they see government coming, or when they get a phone call from somebody in a state agency, that they understand that person's there to help them and not come and put something else on top of them that's going to make their job more difficult. And then I think that we cannot neglect the social aspects of everybody that we've talked to. You know, they're going to send you to Raleigh. They want to address the economy. They want to address the spending issue. They want to address the debt issue, but they also want those social issues in there. We want to protect marriage. We want to protect our unborn children, and those are the things that we need to put back on the table also.
And our final question. What is the one most important thing you hope people will remember you accomplishing during your first term?
Well, I want them to when they think about me, when they think about Norm Sanderson, I want them to say, you know what, as one of the best communicators that we've ever sent to Raleigh to represent us, that I am able to communicate with my constituents back home exactly what's going on up here, what bills are on the table, how it's going to affect us in Eastern North Carolina, and to get their input. And I want people to remember me as, you know, he actually called me on the phone and asked me how this would affect me. And I want them to see me as being very honest, very straightforward for them, and not making any promises that we can't keep, and being a good steward of their taxes and their children and their lives, because that's what we are.
Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. It's a
Appreciate it.
pleasure. Thank you.